Hello everyone, welcome to Instant Learning Technologies live demo on cloud computing and Salesforce. My name is Sai and I'm one of the meetings organizer. The other organizer's name is Vijay. To ensure accuracy of contact details, Vijay will chat with you on one-on-one basis to recheck the given details. He will also assist you with any queries that you may have. And to facilitate a smooth meeting, when you join, we mute you to avoid any audio interference. And during the demo session, if you have a query, please send a chat message to the presenter so that he can address them. After the presentation, we encourage you to ask your specific doubts during the Q&A session. Also, we will be emailing you the course curriculum very shortly. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a quick sound and visual check. If you can see the screen containing the instructions and hear my voice, just please type yes in the chat window. Okay, that sounds good. So once again, thanks for choosing Instant Learning Technologies for your training needs, and enjoy the presentation. So I'm giving the control to the instructor now. Thank you.
All right, looks like people can hear me. Okay, and I guess you can see my screen as well. So today I'll quickly talk about Salesforce.com and what this platform has to offer, and also the different roles on this platform. So let me get started. So what is Salesforce? Salesforce.com is actually an on-demand CRM which is offered on the cloud. So if you look back, it all started with mainframes which brought computation into the industry. Then you have this client-server architecture, okay, which dominated in the last 20 years. You would have. All right. Sure, let me tell me about myself. Okay, this is Parikshit, and I work as a Salesforce consultant for a company called Metasoft Tech Solutions, and I work for this startup called Metasoft Tech for the last 2 years. And before that, I was working at Infosys in Bangalore for the last 4 years. And I graduated from Arizona State University, Tempe, Arizona. Um, Graduated with mechanical and aerospace engineering. All right. Okay. So let me start with the presentation. So I'll quickly introduce you to what Salesforce is. It's an on-demand CRM platform where companies can use this platform to run their complete CRM application without having to buy and install software on their local instance. So the most popular architecture was client-server architecture for the last 30 years. Okay, and if you look at the modern day technology, it has evolved a lot, and we are moving towards the cloud. The classic example is Gmail. So even not only individuals, companies also use Gmail for their email purposes. They don't have to maintain their email servers anymore. And if you look at eBay, there are millions of customers that run their complete stores online. And if you look at Amazon, you can see that you can also be a seller on Amazon without having to maintain any of your servers or maintain any of your software. So Salesforce.com also took the same approach of offering the complete CRM package on the cloud. So for small and mid-sized businesses, this is really awesome because they don't have to have this huge upfront cost and huge overhead every time they upgrade their software. Okay, that's the reason many people or many companies are going or moving towards the cloud. And the other advantage is their on-demand pricing. I mean, as you scale, you can purchase more licenses, purchase more space, more computing power without having to worry about any of your hardware or administration needs. Okay. So anything that's offered on the cloud is on demand. As long as you're connected to the internet, it's available anywhere, anytime. The platform is easily scalable, and unlike other platforms where you have to purchase every new release for an upgrade, here anything that's offered on the cloud, I mean, the business model is built in such a way that they roll out automatic upgrades for free of cost. If you all noticed, if you think about Gmail, it launched maybe 8 or 10 years ago, but if you look at it today, a lot of things have changed, a lot of new features are added without you as an end user having to install any of that stuff. So they pretty much roll out automatic upgrades without you even noticing it. So at any point in time, any company using Salesforce.com is pretty much on the latest version. That way, integration between two different companies using Salesforce is also very simple. Okay, and the pricing model of Salesforce is on demand, meaning they can purchase licenses per user per month. So if my company is using 100 licenses, then the purchasing is done in such a way that we pay per user per month for 100 users, how much ever it costs. So 2 years down the lane, if we get out of business, then we can close down without having a huge overhead of costs. Okay, that's a huge advantage of going with the cloud. Every user needs a license to log in to the platform. The platform is easily scalable. Even if you scale to a few thousands of users, the sharing model is so robust that you can even dive into the granular detail of which user can access which record, which user can see which field, without having to write a single line of code. That's pretty robust if you really think about it. And Salesforce main offering is the CRM, which is divided into two applications. One is the Sales Cloud and one is the Service Cloud. So Sales Cloud is nothing but an application where a company can use to manage their complete sales process, all the way from starting a campaign to generating leads, converting those leads into accounts and opportunities, and following up on that opportunity till the point of sale, or if the sale is lost to competition. Okay, so a Sales Cloud is an application that tracks the complete sales process, and a Service Cloud is an application that is used by customer service companies or call centers. Okay, for companies that sell products, they would have to support their customers over different channels. It could be on social media, or it could be through a phone or through email. And when customers register their queries, this platform provides a framework to completely document and provide solutions for them. Okay, so these are the two main offerings of Salesforce.com, and both of these applications run on Force.com platform. Okay, because Salesforce has become so popular, what Salesforce has done is they separated these two applications and the platform, and they said that if a company would want to build their own custom apps on the cloud, they can do that as well. Suppose if a company wants to use a project management application, they can build it on the Force.com platform. Okay, so you could have thousands of applications running on the platform, and there is a nice app exchange framework where developers can build applications and share it with other developers, or share it in the marketplace and sell it for a price. Okay, so there's a nice ecosystem where you could build different applications which run on the same platform and can be used multiple times by different companies. Okay, and when we move to the cloud, there are a lot of advantages, especially not having to maintain the hardware, maintenance, periodic releases, and also language support, backups. So there are a lot of things that get automated, and it's all taken care of by Salesforce, and they offer an uptime of 99.99%. So which is greater than any company that can offer or maintain their own services. Okay, so going with the cloud is really awesome for any small or mid-sized businesses. And after the class, I'll pass on this links so you can actually take a look at the small marketing videos created by Salesforce, where you get a chance to see the Sales Cloud application as well as the Service Cloud application in action. Okay. There are more than 100,000 customers, I believe, using Salesforce.com. I think there are even more now. I just have a couple of companies here, around 30 or 40 of them, just to show you that Salesforce is present in so many different domains. Okay, all the way from telecom, marketing, non-profits, banks. So I think most of you can identify most of the logos that are present here. So when I say so many companies are using Salesforce, they might be using Salesforce.com for their sales and customer service, or they could be using this platform to build custom applications that are required in their business. Okay, so when a company would want to implement Salesforce, there are different people involved in the whole process. So it all starts with the consultant. So when a business has a requirement, the requirement is taken to the consultant. The consultant is a person who would analyze the business needs. Why would you need this platform? What is your business process? How many users would be using this application? What kind of reporting is required? Is there any data security that needs to be taken care of? Is there anything that we cannot build on this platform? Any gap analysis? So a consultant is a person who understands the complete business needs and then architect a solution. Okay, and once that is done, you will have a bunch of developers that would be building the complete data model, the business logic, and the user interface. And parallel to the developer, you would also have an administrator who would take care of the day-to-day operations, meaning an administrator is a person who takes care of the day-to-day operations like adding new users within the application. If a user cannot generate a particular report, building reports for them, creating periodic backups, moving the application code from sandbox to production or one environment to the other. And if something goes wrong, the first person of contact would be the administrator. Okay. So you have these three different roles: the consultant role, administrator role, and developer role. They all work together for a successful implementation. Okay. And Salesforce has designed three different certification tracks: one for developer, one for administrator, and one for consultant. So one of your questions is, where does the business analyst fit into this Salesforce world? Actually, the lines are blurring right now. Earlier in the past, we had a business analyst to analyze the business requirements and try to see how this application or the platform meets the business needs. But in today's world, it's more of a techno-functional consultant. The business analyst role is going away. It's no longer there. It is more like a techno-functional consultant where a person understands the platform thoroughly and then understand the business needs and try to see how this fits in or how this can be built. Okay, so where would a business analyst fit in? It's more of a consultant role. Okay, but here on Salesforce, what a consultant does is he understands the needs and tries to architect a solution. And to architect a solution, one needs to know the framework as well, the in and out, what can be built using the declarative syntax and what can be built using code. Okay, so it's slightly gray, meaning the roles overlap. You know, the developer role, the administrator role, and the consultant role. All the three roles overlap. There's nothing like, there's no clear boundary. Okay, but based on what you learn, you kind of get that skill. But if you carefully look at it, the developer would be doing the administrator role in the company as well. Okay, but let me clarify a couple of things so it might clear off the air. So there are three tracks. One is the developer, one is the administrator, and the consultant. So the developer track starts with Dev 401, where one would learn basics of building applications on this platform, all the way from your data model, business logic, user interface, the validation rules, approval processes, okay, and the UI using Visual Force pages. And you can go ahead and take the certified developer exam after you're done with this. Then you have the second level, which is Dev 501. Why do we have this? Because the tools on the platform are so robust, you can build most of it using the declarative syntax, meaning without having to write code. Okay, but there will be some requirements which are quite complex and which cannot be built using the declarative syntax. So we write a piece of code, and that is in a language called Apex. And Apex is used to build the business logic. And you also have a language called Visual Force to build the user interface. So in Dev 501, one would learn Apex and Visual Force. And by learning those two, one can build any kind of complex application. Okay. And You have the administrator track with ADM 201. You learn all the administration essentials and a lot of functionality with respect to your both sales and call center applications, how a lead is converted, how an opportunity is realized, and how reports are built, how do you do deployment, a lot of your day-to-day administration stuff, periodic backups, scheduling reports, okay. And in advanced administration, one would learn how to also pull data from third-party systems onto Salesforce. Okay, so you have data sitting somewhere else, and you want to pull data onto Salesforce for whatever your business needs are. Okay, that's covered in advanced administration. And you also have a consultant track where one would learn the same ADM 201 administration essentials, and then in the next level one would learn CON 201, which is specializing on the Sales Cloud application or Service Cloud application. Okay, Sales Cloud is the complete sales process, and Service Cloud is a complete service process. So you have two levels here, which are different for Sales Cloud Consultant and Service Cloud Consultant, whatever you want to specialize in. Okay, and as I said, to become a business analyst also on Salesforce, you have to really know some level of development, maybe not the advanced development, but at least the basic level of development, how apps are built on this platform, to really understand the business needs. Okay. Administration is more of maintenance than writing code, correct? Yeah. And if you see Dev 501, that is the level where one person is an advanced developer and he would be writing code to build a custom logic or custom user interface which cannot be achieved using the declarative syntax. All right. And the other good thing about Salesforce is anyone who's interested to learn about Salesforce, they can sign up for a free developer account by going to developer.force.com. They have a real-time production environment where they can use this to completely test out, play with it, build apps, do whatever. Okay, complete access to a real-time framework and for free of cost. And I guess this gives you an overview of what Salesforce.com is. It's a CRM solution that's offered on the cloud, which is the most popular one. It has a market cap of $6 to $10 billion right now, and it uses a multi-tenant architecture where thousands of companies log into the same cloud to access their application. The licensing structure is pay per user per month, and it has an offering of the Sales Cloud and the Service Cloud, which are two different applications, and both of them run on the Force.com platform. If a company wants to build their own custom applications, they can do so by using the platform. And you also got a chance to see some of the Salesforce.com customers, the 3 different roles, and the certification tracks, and how you can get started. Okay, so let me quickly tell you, like, over the period of this class, mainly a lot of people take or learn Salesforce as for a career change or maybe to find a job for various reasons. The best approach that I take is, combine Dev 401, ADM 201, and move into introduce people to Dev 501, advanced development. So the approach is actually to build an application from scratch. So in the class, one would actually build an application from scratch and then try to play with it. So one would have a hands-on experience all the way starting from basics and building an applications application themselves and pushing it to the marketplace. So that is the approach I take, because one would learn by doing. So it would be the combination of Dev 401, ADM 201, and introduction to Dev 501. Okay. Is the administration? Yes, actually, nowadays certification is standard. At least I live in Bangalore, and we really are not even interviewing candidates who don't have a certification, because it's that's something very basic. That's the standard today, and I really recommend anyone who wants to take this class or wants to learn Salesforce, they would definitely want to have certification, because that's the only credibility. All right. One of the question was regarding certification and how is this enforced. The thing is, after you're comfortable with the concepts, you can register for a certification exam anywhere in the world. It's all available in the major cities. You can go to the testing center, take the exam, and you can get certified. That'll add credibility that you know the framework and the technology. So that's a good thing, I feel. And for a non-technical person who does not know code writing, how hard would this SFDC be? The thing is, it depends upon the role that you choose. Okay, if it's an administrator role, then you wouldn't have so much to code, but you would have a lot of responsibility in terms of handling the data on a day-to-day basis. Suppose if you're working for a company as an administrator, then I mean, you would be dealing with data, so any exports, any imports of data, any deletion of data, any wrong mapping could could cause a huge problem. So administration comes with a lot of responsibility. At the same time, development is, if someone who wants to get into advanced development down the lane, then it is as hard as learning a new programming language. So yes, knowledge on Java does help. Okay, one of the questions is, does Java knowledge help with anyone who's learning SFDC? Yes, it does, because the syntax of Apex is similar to Java. Okay, that's the reason. It's simpler because if you look at a programming language that you're familiar with, then if you look at Apex, then you'll find a lot of comfort, right? How you declare a class or declare variables, how do you write loops. So definitely, yes, the syntax of Java is similar to Apex, but it's not a prereq because the concepts are quite different. Yes, actually, SFDC jobs, that's the flexibility that your employer can give. Many people work remotely. I am working out of Bangalore for a company based out in Trichy. Okay, I work for a company called Metasoft Tech Solutions right now. It's a startup. So it's a 75 people company. I was the first employee, and now I work from Bangalore. I don't work from Trichy because it's on the cloud. That's one advantage. Yes, any role on this platform can be worked remotely. All right. Wang, do you have a question?
I was wondering what's the downside. Sorry. I was wondering there's a lot of advantage for going to cloud. I was wondering, is there any disadvantage for cloud computing?
All right. One thing is disadvantages are something like if SFDC says tomorrow our data center is down for like 4 hours, it's completely out of your control and you can't do much about it. And the other disadvantages that I strongly feel are when you do development and the way you write code. Suppose if you're writing code on our own servers, then I can write the code the way I want. I can really take up the CPU resources, the memory. It doesn't matter. But when we write code for Salesforce or any application, then we have to optimize it really well so that the resources are not monopolized, because it's a cloud framework, right? And we try to write any code which runs infinite loops or really doing data intensive queries which takes up a lot of memory. I will hit some limits. So there are governor limits that are placed every time we write code. The way we have to query, there are a lot of limitations in how you handle data. That's one problem that I feel as a developer. And the other thing is with respect to the control, you don't have 100% control, right? In the sense, tomorrow if someone says the data center is down, I can't do much about it. So those are the two things. Other than that, if you're worried about security, yes, we are trusting another company. We are trusting them that our data would be safe. And even I'm convinced with that, because if we maintain an in-house application and if we want to connect it to the web, then end of the day, your in-house team might be of 2 or 3 people taking care of it. But Salesforce has a dedicated team who work at the data center and make sure that your data is safe. So I would really prefer some experts to take care of my security as well.
Thank you.
All right. And RSDC jobs stay permanent. Okay. Some of the questions are like, once a company implements Salesforce, then what happens, and are these jobs taken away? The thing is, the modern day businesses, they are constantly evolving. Like, if you look at any company today, if they don't evolve with their products or service constantly, then they're out of business in very few years. The classic example is BlackBerry. Okay, if they don't innovate, they'll be thrown out. So even the business models are constantly changing. So any company that implements this technology, even after the implementation is complete, they might not require a huge developer or admin resources, but they will definitely have a couple of people to maintain the application, meaning constant enhancements or constant changes to the application. To take care of that, they have a small team. They do maintain it. Okay. Another thing that I would want to clarify right now, if you look at my screen for the consultant track, you have this administration essentials and implementation essentials, right? This is what Salesforce says. But in real time, what happens is, if you want to become an architect, you not only have to have knowledge about Salesforce, but you also need to have knowledge about other domains like SAP or Oracle or Workday or a couple of other frameworks as well. That is when you're really suitable for an architect role. Okay. Even if you're a Salesforce expert without the knowledge of other domains, then you really can't cater to the architect role. Because what happens is, when a company is implementing Salesforce, it is not that they're implementing CRM for the first time. They might have an existing system and they want to migrate to Salesforce, or they might want to use Salesforce and move data from this system to another system, and have some integration work for it. So an architect is a person who can really understand the technical glitches, what can happen, what cannot happen, how to achieve this, so on and so forth. So I hope that All right. Any prerequisite for SFDC? Actually, nothing that I know of. But if someone who wants to get into an advanced developer role, then they might be willing to learn. It's nothing like you have to learn another programming language. It's nothing like that. Apex is a programming language on Salesforce. So if one is willing to learn, yes, for a non-IT background, the thing is, if anyone wants to get onto Salesforce, then I would say there are more jobs for a developer role than administrators or consultants. Okay, so any day, if you're a developer, everyone would want you. I'm just giving you a heads up. So developer role is more technically challenging. So there are fewer admin jobs than developers. Generally, what are the use cases for SFDC? It is like, let me tell you, if you're running any business, if you want to start a business or running any business, then the first thing that you would be doing is you would be selling some product or service, right? When you do that, and you want to manage that customer interaction somewhere, you can't manage it on an Excel spreadsheet, right? So you would want to really manage it on an application, and Salesforce offers that. So any company that is in business can use a CRM or needs a CRM, I would say, and Salesforce is one such offering. Okay, and one of your question is, can you please throw some light on market need on SFDC jobs? So for anyone who's interested on knowing the job market on SFDC, then I would just say, go to, I'll just open up this site. One moment. Don't let anyone tell you how the job market is, because you really don't know. If you ask me how the job market is in the Europe or in Australia, the best thing is, I would just open up jobs.businessweek.com really quick and just type in my keyword. So just give me one moment. I don't know why it's stuck. Alright. On this site, you can just search for the keyword and actually look at how many jobs are rendering in that particular city or state. Okay, these are real time, so it's not. You can get an idea of what's going on in the job market. And with respect to Salesforce as a company, if you want to understand how they're doing and how they've been doing, then you can just check out this site. One second. So you can search for the keyword Salesforce and you can actually see. Let me type in that keyword really quick. I'll say find jobs, and you'll actually be able to see how many jobs are available as of today. So you'll have a better idea. Another question is, any competition for SFDC CRM in its true form? The thing is, the closer player or someone who's trying to get into this space is Microsoft Dynamics. So Microsoft Dynamics is one of the competitor, but I really don't see that as a competition for a reason, because Microsoft has so many products, all the way from operating systems to phones to tablets to whatever. But Salesforce is really focused on just one product, CRM, and it's a $1 billion company, and they are not really deviating. Their focus is just the CRM. And even if you look at the implementation rate, it's higher for SFDC. More companies want to go with this platform. All right. And yeah, as I said, you can search for the keyword and you can look out for jobs. And right now, I just searched for this Salesforce, and I can see 21,000 in the US market, I believe. Yes, certification is verifiable. So the question was, is SFDC certification verifiable? It is. You might see a few blogs on the web that might say it's not verifiable, but as of today, only you have a group on LinkedIn that says Salesforce certified consultants, and you can become a member of that group only if you give them your certification ID. Another question: do you need to take this every year? The thing is, every year Salesforce has 3 new releases. I mean, for spring, one for fall, one for summer. So there are different releases, meaning the new features are rolled out, okay, 3 times a year. And you would be required to take a release exam whenever it's available. Okay, the release exams are short, like maybe 5 or 10 questions, and you can take it online from home. All right. Anyone else have questions? How a typical day would be? This is a completely a tough question, because it depends on what stage of implementation are they in, or if everything is working fine and no one has problems, then an administrator would probably sit down and not do anything and look at chatter feed if someone has problems. Okay. At the same time, if a person has some problems, system, someone not being able to run a report, then he would probably sit down and debug it. The thing is, for anyone who's fresh and new, obviously there'll be a steep learning curve. Okay, it's like a huge learning curve one would have, that's for sure. All the way from reliability standards and everything. Okay, and this is one page I just wanted to show. If you want to understand more about Salesforce as a company and how it does, just type in CRM and understand what is the market cap. $31.25 billion, so I think that's pretty big. And how it's been doing for the last 5 or 10 years. You can just, it's just a Google Finance. If you look out for stocks, then just type in that keyword and you get to know. Alright, so that's how a company is doing over the past from 2008, and how is it doing till date. Okay, this. All right.
Hi Parikshit, this is Sai here. Sorry for interrupting. I just want to send a quick message to all attendees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unmute each and every person individually. So if you have any questions, this would be the right time to ask. So I'm going ahead and starting with Eugene Wang. Eugene, do you have any questions?
Yes. So when I was hearing in the session for the administrative job, I was wondering, will this job be replaced in the future by all the automation on the software?
I don't see that happening, at least for another maybe 10 years, because at any point in time you can't completely automate it. That can't happen. Maybe you'll have better tools um, to build your applications, automate a lot of the processes, but you'll always have someone looking at it. So you'll have a human. I don't see a human replacement at least for 10 years from now. Not only on Salesforce, as a matter of fact, any other software.
And I have a second question is, in order to be like Salesforce consultant, beside the two classes mentioned in the slide, is there any other way I can better prepare myself? Like any other stuff I should like be aware of, or anything I can learn to better prepare myself?
All right. To become I mean, in real time, to become a consultant, as I said, consultant or an architect role, you not only have to have knowledge on Salesforce, but it's good if you kind of have some level of exposure to SAP or Oracle apps or databases, um, so that you understand how these systems can talk to each other. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you prepare yourself? Then getting familiarity with some integration tools like Informatica or Cast Iron, then getting familiarity with at least the Oracle application design and how they interact with each other. So that might help. And if you worked as a business analyst in any of the implementations that have used these technologies, then that would help. So it's basically, if you're trying to hire a consultant for your company, then you would probably look out for a person who not only has extensive knowledge on Salesforce, but knowledge of other technologies that surround it. Okay, so he'll figure out how to connect all of the dots together and offer a solution to the end customer.
Thank you so much.
Next in line is Hari. Hari, do you have any questions for Parikshit? Okay. Once again, Hari, do you have any questions for Parikshit? Okay. I guess the answer is no. So let's go with Akbar. Do you have any questions for Parikshit? Murli, do you have any questions for Parikshit? Yeah, please go ahead. Okay, what I did was I unmuted everyone, so if you have any questions, now would be the right time to ask Parikshit. So.
Hi Parikshit, this is Naren. Can you hear me?
Yes, Naren, go ahead please.
Well, I've been asking you so many questions in the chat room anyway, so one quick question is you mentioned business analyst role is fading away.
Correct.
So what do you mean, like there'll be only two roles in this SFDC world, like either admin or developer? Because I see mostly most of the enterprises I see the jobs asking for the business analyst with Salesforce background. So
that is maybe a wrong terminology they might be using. A techno-functional consultant would be right, because without knowing the platform or the framework, you can't really analyze the business customers and try to fit in a solution, right? So if you really know how the framework is and what can be built and what the capabilities are and how this can be built, then they would be really suitable for that role. and maybe you can call them business analysts too, but I would rather call them techno-function consultants.
Yeah, I mean, when some enterprise decides to go for a SFDC implementation, the step one is to sit with the client and get the requirements, right? So that takes a lot of face-to-face scenario, like, client-facing scenarios. So obviously, according to you, I think admin should be able to face the client and get the requirements in its correct form, right?
You're right, but what's happening is, I mean, in modern world, that's completely going away. I would say, because the client really, when I interact with the clients, what happens is the sales or the business process guy who works for that company would probably have a chat or send me a document. This is our current process, and these are the list of functionalities that we would require, and please give us an estimate of number of hours and your implementation timeline. So when we get the requirement itself, they kind of give a bare bone, these leads have to be converted to opportunities. We would need to build 60 odd reports, and these reports would be of this type. We need an integration between this system and a credit card database or a US Postal Service database for address validation. So they come up with these sentences of what their requirements are, and I really don't see a huge role for just a business analyst getting down the requirements from the customer. That role is fading away. That won't be there down the line. One has to be technically knowledgeable about the framework. It's not only with Salesforce, it's with any other platform, modern platform as of today.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. Okay.
All right. And with respect to the training material, yes, I will. There's tons of learning material on the web itself, created by Salesforce. But what I do is I kind of organize some material which I feel it's the right way or easiest way to learn. So some of the material that I've prepared, yes, I would share everything with you during the class. So you would actually have my class notes, the best practices, as well as a periodic assignment after every class. That way you get to work on the assignment by yourself. How much hands-on? The thing is, from the third day of the session, I think you would have hands-on, because you are working on the assignments and you have a developer account. You would be building an application yourself. So I would say 75% of the class is 80% is hands-on.
Muted. Unmuted. Muted.
Yeah, Parikshit, I was asking you how many hours for the whole course.
Okay. Basically, I try to do classes 5 days a week, mornings or evenings, like 1.5 hours each class. Maybe I go up to 2 hours sometimes. It would require 23 odd sessions. Okay. I mean, I sometimes depends on the pace, one session less or one session more, but around that range. So it would be more than a month.
So you're looking at 40 hours at least, right?
Yes.
What's the success rate of your past trainees, Parikshit? Any idea? I mean, after doing this.
Okay, my whole goal is to get people certified. Okay, that is the best benchmark that I can have, and
Right.
not everyone gets back to me with their certification results. So maybe I really don't. I can't say an accurate number.
I
But
understand. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sure.
one thing I can assure is when a person follows the class, completes all the assignments, I think after the class, they can go ahead and take the 401 certification or the 201, the administrator, ADM 201.
Do we get to create a sandbox in this course? I mean, a sandbox environment and work through the
Yes, I'll be able
labs?
to show you how to. Actually, the developer account that you get is like a sandbox.
Okay.
So you can build anything. You can build your objects, fields, relationships, your workflows, approval processes. You can even write code, and then if you want to move into another environment, you can do so.
Hi Parikshit, this is Sai here. I just want to interject and tell all the attendees. So basically what we provide is, as you're aware, Parikshit's training is geared more towards hands-on job training. And in addition to that, we'll be providing handouts for each and every session. And a comprehensive curriculum would also be provided to you. And at the end, certification assistance and some training geared towards certification will also be given. And Parikshit assist you in setting up the infrastructure setup as well. So those are the features and benefits that comes with going with our institute. And so let's go ahead and end the session. So I would like to thank everyone for attending the Instant Learning Technologies demo on Salesforce and cloud computing. So what I'm going to do is we'll soon send the course content for this session as well as the next session as well, and also the course fees and payment details would also be provided. And in the meantime, feel free to contact us at email would be instantlearning2013@gmail.com, or you can give me a call at this would be the USA number. It's 408-329-6094, and if anyone is on India, the number would be 8686-104000. So once again, thanks a lot, Parikshit.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
The organizer has ended the